Barbara Bates was a singer, model, and an actress who lived a very tragic life. From the very beginning, she was incredibly shy, and it affected her life and her acting career. In this video, we'll see how, despite being painfully shy, she managed to become a successful actress and how her life came to a sad end. Early years, learning ballet and working as a model. Bates was born Barbara Jane Bates on August 6, 1925, in Denver, Colorado, to Eva and Arthur W. Bates, a postal clerk. She was the oldest of 3 daughters. Her mother made her learn ballet when she was little, and she soon started working as a teen fashion model. She was very shy when she was little, but her friends and family convinced her to enter a beauty contest. She won and received a round-trip ticket to Hollywood. She went to Hollywood with her mother, and 2 days before coming back to Denver, she met Cecil Cohn, publicist for United Artists, getting a contract with Universal Pictures and falling in love with Cohn. When Bates was 19 years old, she got a contract with Universal Pictures after she was introduced to film producer Walter Wenger by Cecil Cohn. Wenger was on the lookout for the most beautiful girl in the world for his film Salome, where she danced. Bates performed in the film in 1945 as one of the 7 Salome girls. Many film critics believed that the 7 Salome girls were destined for screen fame, but only 2 of them went on to become successful actresses, and one of them was Bates. It was around this time that Bates and Cohn fell in love with each other. Cohn was a married man who had 3 sons and 2 daughters, but he was so much in love with Bates that he decided to divorce his wife so he could secretly marry the young actress. He was so smitten with her that he often told her that he would turn her into a star. Cohn was 45 and Bates was 19 at the time of their marriage. Pinup modeling and signing with Warner Brothers and 20th Century Fox. After marrying Cohn, she spent some years working as a stock actress and did pinup modeling. She was featured on the covers of magazines like Yank, The Army Weekly, and Life. One of her photos was discovered by an executive at Warner Brothers who decided to sign her in 1947. Her acting career finally picked up momentum after Warner Brothers started promoting her girl next door personality, and she found herself acting with some of the biggest stars from the time. She starred in June Bride alongside Bette Davis and in The Inspector General with Danny Kaye. There were rumors at the time that Bates was romantically involved with Danny Kaye, but nobody ever really found out if those rumors were true or not. She was asked by Warner Brothers to travel to New York City to promote The Inspector General, but she refused, and it led to her contract being terminated. She was offered a job at 20th Century Fox, but on the condition that she divorced Cohn. A few days after she was offered the job, she got a call from a drunk Cohn, inviting her to his yacht. She refused, and was signed to Fox. Cohn and Bates never divorced, though, and remained together until Cohn's death in 1967. All About Eve and Limelight, peak of her career. In 1949, she screen tested for the role of Phoebe in the film All About Eve. It was a minor role, and there were other actresses who had auditioned for it, but it was Bates who won the part. She appeared at the end of the film, holding the award that Eve Harrington, her idol, won while posing in front of a mirror. The Hollywood Reporter wrote, Barbara Bates comes on the screen in the last few moments to more or less sum up the whole action and point of the story. It's odd that a bit should count for so much, and in the hands of Miss Bates, all the required points are fulfilled. Her performance was so impressive that everyone thought she would reprise her role in a sequel to All About Eve, but unfortunately, it never happened. She was about to star in Charlie Chaplin's film Limelight. She was auditioned by Chaplin himself, and he was ready to cast her in his film, but due to his political views, Fox refused to let Bates act in the film. Bates was at the peak of her film career and her life during this period, as she starred in some of her best films in the late 40s and early 50s. She bought her first house with her husband Cohn in 1952 in Benedict Canyon. While washing the dishes in the new house, Bates' ring fell into the garbage disposal unit. When she and Cohn found the ring, they removed the diamond and reassembled it, and then realized there were 3 parts left over. They laughed and decided that it worked better than before. They were happy, but things were about to go downhill for both of them very fast. Decline in her career and struggle with depression. Bates had always struggled with mood swings and depression. She was chosen to play the role of Amy Morgan in the TV show It's a Great Life, but after just 26 episodes, she was fired because of her strange behavior. She knew that her career was slowly coming to an end, so she decided to move to England to look for work. She became a member of the Rank organization, but was replaced in 2 roles before filming even began. Her contract with Rank organization was eventually terminated in 1957 because she became more emotionally unstable and was very difficult to work with. She moved back to the U.S. in the same year and bought an apartment with her husband Cone in Beverly Hills and appeared in her last film, Apache Territory. Cone was diagnosed with cancer in 1960. Bates became worried and put her career on pause so she could look after her sick husband. She joined St. Victor's Catholic Church as a volunteer. Taking care of Cone put Bates under a lot of stress, and she tried to take her own life by cutting her wrists. She was taken to Cedars-Sinai Hospital. She recovered and moved in with her friend. Return to Denver and death. Cone died of cancer in January 1967, and Bates was overcome with grief. She became more depressed and suicidal and returned to Denver. While living in Denver, she worked as a secretary, a dental assistant, and as a hospital aide. She married sportscaster William Reed in December 1968. Reed and Bates were childhood friends, and while it seemed as if they were happy, Bates' depression and suicidal ideations didn't go away. A few months after marrying Reed, she was found dead on the front seat of her car in the garage of her house. It was concluded that she took her own life and died of carbon monoxide poisoning. She was 43 years old at the time and was pregnant. Barbara Bates is buried in Lakewood, Colorado at the Crown Hill Cemetery. She was a troubled and shy actress who was deeply in love with Cone, but she overcame her shyness and became successful in Hollywood. Her performance in All About Eve is considered one of the best performances in the history of cinema. Do you have any favorite Barbara Bates films? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to press the subscribe button.